Greetings everyone, this is Connor from Dagora TV, and in this video I'm talking about my E3 Bethesda press conference predictions. E3 has crept up on us this year, and like every year now it seems every year, Bethesda are doing another press conference. This is the third year of them doing it. We thought it was just going to be a one-time thing. We was wrong. It seems like a regular thing now where they've got a lot of games in the back catalogue to either announce updates for, to release and stuff like that. So it's kind of right for them to do an E3 press conference to talk about the stuff that they've got coming out. So this year, as they've got one, I expect it to be not as good as the 2015 press conference, which was kind of blown out the water, as you know, with the incredible Fallout 4 demo and announcing Dishonored 2. The Doom stuff looked great as well. You know, it was a fantastic press conference. Last year's, again, was a really good press conference, a really strong one. You know, had some neat surprises in there, like Fallout VR and stuff like that, teasing new Wolfenstein and stuff. But, you know, there wasn't really much groundbreaking in there, you know, for people to go home really, really excited about. Whereas this one, I think there's going to be a lot there. I think there's going to be a lot at the Bethesda conference this year. So I've made a few predictions. I've got a couple of question mark points in here, which I'm going to maybe talk about as well, which I think could be at the show, but I'm not like putting hand on heart like, yes, this is definitely going to happen. Whereas a lot of these on here, I think we can be really safe about and really safe to assume. So the first prediction I've got is that Fallout VR will get a release date. Like this is kind of a little bit of a ballsy prediction. Fallout VR was announced last year. It was announced along with the Doom VR version as well. We haven't heard really anything about the Doom VR version since the E3 press conference. The Fallout one keeps getting brought back up in interviews, especially with Todd Howard, that he does every so often around the gaming sphere. And I think, yeah, this is the time for it to get a release date. I think it will be in like a couple of months' time. I don't think it will be one of those things where it's like, yeah, this is coming, you know, in the fall, or it could be either in a couple of months' time, or it could be something like March. I don't see it being, you know, in the time frame of, you know, like in that big chock-a-block gap in the Q4 period of the year, because I just think it'll get completely drowned out. Whereas if it's out in like a year, in a month, sorry, not a year, then, you know, it's got, you know, a lot of times, you know, to really group up a lot of sales. So I actually think that will be the case, that Fallout VR will get a release date this year, this E3. The next one is Quake Champions, which was again announced last year when the guy come on stage, you know, saying about its unlocked frame rates. It's been going around the gaming sphere again with the beta that's been going out, where a few people in the media have been playing it. Mixed opinions. It seems like hardcore Quake fans aren't ridiculously into it, because the reason for that being was, you know, they've got pickups in the game where you can go and pick up buffs and stuff like that, which is kind of something that's to do with, you know, kind of like the For Honor way of doing things, where you can go around the map and, you know, get health buffs. And you may be a little bit like Unreal Tournament as well, but, you know, there's other people who maybe not so familiar with Quake that really like that method. But it's going to be interesting to see how that game does when it comes out. It's not a game that I'm really stoked for. I'm not really into esports first-person shooters kind of thing. The only first-person shooter that I can really get into is Overwatch, and that's because it's kind of the Smash Bros of first-person shooters, if that makes any sense. Quake Champions, though, has definitely got its audience. It's going to be really interesting to see how it does, though, in the esports crowd. Like, how much are they going to fund these esports events? So I could definitely see it getting a release date and stuff like that in there. I'm going to put a question mark on my next one, which is a possible Doom expansion. Doom did very, very well when it came out last year, tremendously well even. I do think that, you know, id Software, the guys who are also making Quake Champions, so they've maybe moved on to that. But I do think that there is a possibility of a chance that it could get basically an expandalone for Doom, which would be interesting. We'll have to see how that does if it does come out. I think it'll do very, very well after the Doom last year did really, really well, Doom 2016. We'll have to again see what it will entail. I think it'll just be more, you know, more maps, more hell, more mayhem of being able to go around, you know, play puzzles and stuff like that, and taking out a load of enemies in a map. I think it'll be really fun. It's something I'd definitely be interested in playing. Doom's a fantastic game. It wasn't a game I actually finished, to be honest. I was kind of done with it about 15 hours in, but you know, Doom was fantastic. Doom was a really good game. The first of the major announcements, which I'm actually going to go for, I think there's going to be 3 major announcements at this conference. And the first one is something that they teased last year, which was Wolfenstein New Colossus. Wolfenstein New Order came out in 2014. One of those games that stuck out in 2014. I'd say there's 3 games that year that really struck out as people being good at 2014. That's Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, Dragon Age Inquisition, and Wolfenstein New Order. Everything else was pretty poor. Maybe Child of Light you could maybe make an argument for, but everything else in that year was pretty disappointing, you know, the year of Watch Dogs and stuff like that. But Wolfenstein New Order, you know, was a fantastic game, something that I really enjoyed. The Old Blood Not for me, to be honest with you. I didn't really enjoy the zombie parts of the game. I enjoyed the first few hours in the castle. I thought that was a really cool throwback to the old nostalgic Wolfenstein fans and stuff. I never really played those games, but you know, I've done a lot of looking up at those. You know, it's one of those classic video games, and you know, being able to see that after seeing so much on videos and stuff from the past was really cool to play in the Wolfenstein castle. And I thought that was fun, but then when you got into the zombie stuff, I was kind of not into it. But the original Wolfenstein New Order, the one that kind of revitalized the Wolfenstein genre, was fantastic. You know, you went everywhere in that game. I really, really loved that game. Great fights. You could dual wield assault rifles, for Christ's sake, and I'd be really, really happy if, you know, announcing a new one. Apparently it's crazy, according to Beehives. They said they're working on something and something's crazy. I think it's... I'm actually 100% certain that this game will be announced this year at E3. I think it's also going to come out this year as well. I think it will come out in October, if that's what I'm making a guess. I wouldn't hard press that down though, but we're definitely going to see some Wolfenstein New Colossus gameplay, I believe, at the E3 this year. Next one to come up, I think we'll get to see some more stuff on the Elder Scrolls Legends. That's a game that's actually... There's two games that's actually confirmed to be at the showcase this year, and that is the Elder Scrolls Legends and Wolfenstein New Colossus. The Elder Scrolls Legends card game that's come out actually this year, it's out on Steam now, it's been out for a little while. I think we'll get our first expansion for it. I think we'll completely new card expansion, maybe get some nice quests in there and stuff like that to kind of really push the esports scene, because there's a few players that have actually left Hearthstone to go to the Elder Scrolls Legends scene. Elder Scrolls Legends was a game I actually played quite a bit in the beta, but I haven't played since it's been released. It does enough different from Hearthstone to be interested in it, if you know, if you really want to give it a go and you liked Hearthstone. But it is just, you know, it's just a genre I'm not particularly interested in. I do think they'll come out with an expansion though, and maybe, you know, get a bit of revenue in, because the game hasn't exactly set the world alight. You know, it's not really done extremely well. But it might be something that I would consider getting on my phone, you know, just to play around with and stuff like that, because it is a fun card game, you know, to just have a couple of games with every so often. The second of the major announcements, I think, comes from Tango Works. This will probably, I think, actually come earlier in the show. Maybe the way to start the show is to announce Evil Within 2. And this was actually one of those Bethesda leaks, in quotation marks, that was said. I said in an earlier video a couple of days ago. But I just think that Evil Within, for me, I don't think it was a great game personally with you. I think it's kind of one of the weak points of Bethesda. But having something new in the horror franchise could do something really interesting. You know, Resident Evil 7 sold really well earlier in the year. Horror is very popular. It's a very popular... it's very popular to watch on YouTube, I found. I actually prefer watching horror playthroughs than actually playing the games myself. Evil Within 2 will probably be another one of those situations. And there's a couple of frustrating missions in Evil Within that really kind of set people back. But Evil Within 2 will hopefully kind of push that forward. It'd be interesting to see how Tango Works do for the second time around. To see what they push forward. And Evil Within 2 I can expect to be announced this year. And we'll have to see when it comes out. I'm not making any guarantees on that release date. I think the release date for it may be next year. The next two things, well, this first one I've definitely got a question mark over, because I would have actually banked on it back in November for a Dishonored 2 expansion to be announced this year, and again an expandalone thing. But I'm not actually gonna cement and say I'm gonna hardcore predict this, because I just think that maybe because the lack of sales of Dishonored 2, maybe you've made them cancel it and move on to maybe put a lot of the team over to Prey. That may have been a situation that happened, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Dishonored 2 expansion, let's put it that way, because, you know, that game has got its hardcore fans. Like, I really loved Dishonored 2. It was one of my, you know, top 5 games of the year last year. I really loved Dishonored 2. As someone who played Dishonored, the first Dishonored last year as well, I really loved both of those games, and I really hope they continue with that franchise, because it was a fantastic game. I think it was IGN's game of the year as well, actually. But Dishonored 2 expansion, I think they may look at sales and hold it back. I hope they don't. I hope we do get an expansion so I can go back and play Dishonored 2 a bit more, because it was a fantastic game. But we'll have to wait and see about that again. If you haven't played the Dishonored games, I'd definitely tell you to go play them, because they are really, really great. And it's a genre that Arcane have kind of mastered, this kind of tactical-based stealth gameplay, and it's really, really fun. And, you know, watching people play that game at high chaos as well is really cool to see. And, you know, the different ways to go around in those games are really fun, and hopefully if they do a DLC, they'll carry that forward, and I trust that they will. The next prediction is, I think we won't see someone like Matt Firor come on stage with the Elder Scrolls Online from ZeniMax Online. I don't think we'll see a presence on stage from the ZeniMax Online studios, because they've just, you know, released Elder Scrolls Morrowind, the online expansion, which I'm very much looking forward to playing. Once this whole E3 debacle is completely finished, I'm looking forward to going into that and giving it a go, because you know, I think it's a great idea. I'd love to go back and, you know, really see what they do with that and everything, and that'd be really cool to see Morrowind in a new area and stuff like that, and in its new beautiful looking graphics light. But yeah, we're gonna have to. I think we'll get a tease from maybe in the video going like, "Oh, we're hard at work here. You know, we're continuing working on Elder Scrolls Online and all that crap," and then maybe tease something. I don't know what they'd tease. Maybe, you know, a new area, new adventure zone, something like that. I don't even know if they're carrying on with those. I know they did Craglorn and a load of new content there. That'd be. I think an adventure zone would maybe be the right idea instead of going down the solo expansion route to kind of give a bit more of the group PvE players a bit more of a go. But we'll have to wait and see what they're going to do with that. But yeah. We'll have to wait and see what we do for Elder Scrolls Online, but I do think they're going to tease something. Next up, I don't think we'll see Battlecry. I think that game's dead. I think they've moved on from that game. I think they've pulled funding from that game. That game looked terrible. I don't see that game coming back. If it does come back, it's going to come back at this conference. If it's not there, it's gone. It's finished. It's over. And I don't think anyone will be bothered if it is gone. And last, to end the show, just one last thing. I think Pete Hines will call out Todd Howard to the stage and announce Starfield. I think Starfield, I've said it in a few videos now, is going to be happening this E3. I think it's going to be a space Bethesda style RPG. I don't think it's going to be this freemium game. I do think it'll have a phone companion app tied in with it, a phone game as well. I think, you know, it'll go on stage for about 20-30 minutes even and just really talk strongly about the game to a lot of people, really showcase what it's got to offer, and I'm very, very, very much looking forward to watching the Starfield gameplay on screen. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. I'm going to should we guess the release date? Let's guess the release date, shall we? So I'm just getting the calendar up. Oh, November. I said in the podcast 14th. I'm going to stick with 14th. You know, they November 14th is on a Tuesday. They like going for the Tuesdays. They can't. Yeah, I'm going to go with the 14th because I generally think that. I generally personally believe that Starfield is going to be, you know, another kind of Fallout style game, you know, another Bethesda style game, and it's going to have a big release. It's going to sell a lot of copies because, you know, it's from that studio, and I can't wait to see what the game's going to look like and what it's going to play like and really see some stuff about it. But yeah, that's pretty much all the predictions I've got for this video. So I've got Fallout VR release date, Quake Champions release date, Doom expansion, Wolfenstein New Colossus, Test Legends expansion, Evil Within 2, Tease for ESO Future expansion, Starfield, and a possible Dishonored 2 expansion, but I'm going to put a question mark on that one. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I don't think we'll see anything of Prey or anything like that. I think that's what we're going to get, and I think that'll be a fantastic conference if we get that stuff. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you want from the Bethesda conference as well. I mean, we all want Elder Scrolls 6 out tomorrow. I know that's what we want, but, you know, I don't think that's going to, like, it's very, very likely that's going to happen. They said they've got 2 big projects coming out before them, 2 Bethesda-style games that are coming out before then, so we'll have to wait and see what they're going to be like. And yeah, we'll definitely keep our eyes out for it. But thanks all for watching this, guys. Please let me know what you think. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe here on the YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.